Hey Pam Pal, how are you?
I'm doing wonderfully, Chuck Koplinski. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm living in the 21st century here.
How's
You know,
that?
we take so many things for granted, technology wise. Here
Yeah,
you are sitting in Michigan, right?
right.
Right. I am in a car driving down the Dan Ryan Expressway in Chicago, and here we are talking, doing a podcast. I mean, really, when you stop and think about that, that is incredible.
It is pretty crazy.
You know,
Think about when we were growing up, we never fathomed this. Although you probably watched these sci-fi things where they had the possibility of this, right?
Yeah, but they were close, but not like this. And the other thing that I find that especially of the younger generation, they walk around with these phones,
Yeah.
but they don't make any phone calls. I mean, the fact that I can punch in a series of 10 numbers and talk to someone thousands of miles away
Right.
is also mind-boggling. But they don't even do that. That's
And
no
and
big
you
deal.
don't have to pay extra for it. Remember?
Right. I was just going to say, yeah, long distance. Get off the phone. It's long
Right, right.
distance.
My mother sets the timer. I remember my
Yes.
MCI cards. Do you remember those going to a pay?
Yes. Yes. I remember the phone bill coming every month in the mail as well.
Yes. Yep.
And you go back and look like, oh my God, that call. Oh, geez. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one was bad. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So I'm old. That's what we've established.
We have definitely established that we are both old, and you are going to join me in my sixth decade of life here in just about what, like a month and a half?
And a half. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we of course will talk about that as it gets closer, but yes, there's no escaping these things, as we well know.
No, and like this older gentleman at the gym that I used to walk laps with, it's better than the alternative, he would say.
Okay, I agree. I agree.
So, what do we have this week, Chuck? What do you want to start with?
Ah,
Oh,
what do
wow.
we want? Well, you know what? I want to talk about one that it seems as though you and I liked, but a lot of people didn't.
Okay.
And I think it's a real shame because it's a good film. And I'm going to let you take this one because I told you to watch it and you ended up liking it. Echo Valley.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I mean, I hated it while I was enjoying it. It is an incredible movie about a mother-daughter relationship and what we'll do for our children, the lengths that we will go to. Kind of like, we talked about Sally Hawkins' character in Bring Her Back and the lengths that she
Yes.
would go to, the depths that she would dive in order to do something to help her child. And that's really what this is about. And it stars one of my favorite people. I just absolutely adore Julianne Moore. She
Why?
is she
I think
is
we I think we adore her in different ways. But yeah,
I
go ahead.
I do believe we do too, yes.
Yeah.
She plays Kate Garrettson, and she's phenomenal in anything she does. If Julianne Moore is in it, I'll watch it because I think she makes great choices. And even if it's just a mediocre film, she elevates it. This is not a mediocre film. This is an amazing film. And she is a woman who she's had some trauma and tragedy in her life. We're not quite sure what it is. That's what I really love about the writing in this film is that the writer is Brad Inglesby.
And I love that guy.
Yeah. What else did he do, Chuck? Do you know offhand?
He did that cancer film with Dakota Johnson and Casey Affleck,
Oh, yeah, yeah, the
Our
friend.
Best Friend,
Yep.
and also he did a film that I absolutely cherish, The Way Back with Ben Affleck.
Oh, I loved that. That was good.
So this is a smart guy. I always perk up whenever I see his name on a script.
Well, that's good to know because he does a great job of creating this tense and dramatic foundation. He doesn't give too much away in the very beginning. He peels it away like a an onion with 500 layers on it. And
Yeah,
Kate has had some tragedy. She lives in the New England area somewhere, maybe Delaware. And she lives on a horse farm and she is taking care of this horse farm by herself. Um, She is divorced from her hubby, played by Kyle MacLachlan. He's got a small role in this, but it's always fun to see him as well. And she's got some financial difficulties. They're fighting about Kate's interactions and relationship with the troubled child Claire, played by Sydney Sweeney. She's a young adult and she is kind of out of the picture, but we know that there's something that's not going on, that's something going on that's not good with her as well. Well, wouldn't you know it? She shows up at Kate's doorstep in the middle of the night, and we understand that there's some drug and rehab issues. You see the tension in Kate's face as she's interacting. She loves her child and she will do anything to help her. But she also knows that some of the things that she's done to help her have actually enabled her. What a fine line to draw there. I can't imagine putting myself in this situation. And that is the beauty of this film, is that we do walk in their shoes. We have complete empathy for the character of Kate Garrettson. Wow. I don't want to give a whole lot away on this one because there are so many twists and turns that you don't see coming. Suffice it to say that Claire and her boyfriend, who is a real bad egg, are into dealing drugs, and their, I don't know, drug dealer boss guy who they stole something from, Jackie, played by Domhnall Gleeson, is out to find them because they have stolen something from him. Well, Jackie and Kate tries to protect her daughter and pay off her debts, and that doesn't work so well for anybody. Like I said, I don't want to give too much away because it is a tension-filled, dramatic, and thrilling story that you are not going to predict what's going to happen. More is sensational. I know that you said, Chuck, that Domhnall Gleeson is kind of pigeonholing himself into the same character of this evil person. He's good at it.
Oh,
He's
no doubt. No
he's
doubt.
really good. And Sydney Sweeney, I know she's had a lot of bad press. I really don't pay attention to any of these actors' personal lives. She was really good in this. She was very believable.
She
Fiona.
um she
Hmm?
made a horror film last year called Immaculate that she produced, in which
Okay.
she played a nun. She was great in that too. She's really much better than you would think.
Okay. No, I thought she was amazing. And the relationship between Claire and Kate, the mother-daughter relationship, you felt that love, you felt that push and pull, and kids are tough, and when they go through something like this is unfathomable. I can't even imagine, the feelings and the emotions of a mother. And really kudos to the writer for really being able to tap into that. I was shocked to find out that a guy had written it because it's so on point.
You
Um,
know, their whole relationship reminded me of that film Ben is Back with Julia
yes,
Roberts.
yes, definitely.
I mean, it was as intense and as heartbreaking as that one as well.
Yeah, this one was, I think, a little bit more thrilling, a little bit more of a mystery kind of thriller to me.
Right. Yeah, but I'm just saying the relationship between the mother and the child, who
Right.
obviously is manipulating you and obviously is just going to lead you down that bad path. I thought that that correlation between the two films was right on.
Yes, I completely agree with you. Because as a mother or as a parent, we want so badly to believe our children and to be there for them. Fiona Shaw shows up as a friend. I'm not going to let you know any more than that, other than I love Fiona Shaw. And again, I will watch anything with her. This is an incredible cast of characters, a very small ensemble cast. And I was on the edge of my seat. I didn't want to watch it. I kept wanting to cover my eyes. I kept texting Chuck, everybody, just to make sure. And I'm going to let you know this because I don't want you to be scared, because I was scared about this fact. The dog is okay. That's going to come up in the beginning. And the horses are okay. So
And
go ahead.
I told you at the beginning everything was going to be okay, and yet you continued to text me.
I did.
Have I ever lied to you about that?
No, because no, you would
Okay,
have hell to pay, let me tell you.
I know. So yeah, all animals are okay.
Yes. So check this one out. You are not going to be disappointed. It is thrilling, chilling, and unnerving in all the right ways.
And that's Echo Valley, I believe, on Apple TV, correct?
Correct. Yep, you are
Yes.
absolutely correct, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Another one that just want to mention real quick, Fountain of Youth,
Oh,
which is on Amazon Prime. That's the other one where Domhnall Gleeson ends up being the bad guy, and that's why I was like, yeah, he's very good. He's a good actor,
yes.
but he doesn't want to get stuck in these roles.
No. Did you see him in the series? I think it was called Sick Day or Sick Days or something like that.
Did not.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. You should check that out. He pretends to be sick so he doesn't have to work. And then he ends up saying that he has cancer, and the whole lie just really snowballs. Um,
Jesus. Okay.
I know,
All
right?
right. That does sound interesting. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's called Sick Day. If it's not, I'll let you know. But
I'll,
I'm
I'll just
sure
look up
it is.
his name then. Okay.
All right, yes.
All
So,
right.
what else do you want to talk about? I think you've seen a couple things that I have not.
Let's get rid of Ballerina real quick.
Let's do that. I did not see it.
Uh, you did not see it. Ana de Armas. She's cute as a button. I mean, there's no question about it. She's beautiful. She's sexy. She's all that. She's no Keanu Reeves, though. I will tell you that.
Okay.
She's no Keanu Reeves in this extension knockoff, whatever you want to call it, of the John Wick universe. She is an assassin, of course, who you know is falsely accused of something, and she has to go on the run and kill a lot of bad guys, and it's a mess. And
Okay.
that's basically it. I mean, come on. In these movies, we know that plot is, inconsequential.
Yes.
Uh, at least the John Wick movies, though, do attempt to throw in a few twists and turns. And those, I don't mind the stories or lack thereof. This one, though, it was really, really thin. We see some familiar faces from the Wick universe. Ian McShane shows up again. Lance Riddick, they filmed his part as the manager of the hotel before he passed away. I was surprised to see him
Okay.
there. Angelica Houston, of course, shows up as well. And Keanu, I should say, pops up for about the last half hour as he, John Wick, is assigned to bring in Eve, the ballerina, played by Ana de Armas. And of course, that means that, all hell's going to break loose during that last 30 minutes, as if it hasn't already. And Gabriel Byrne shows up too, phoning in his performance as the requisite bad guy.
Okay.
First hour was a little slack, but I do have to say the last hour picks up steam. And there are two standout moments in this film. One involves a flamethrower and a fire hose. One guy's got a flamethrower. Our heroine has a fire hose.
Okay.
And visually, I mean, I don't know anything about the physics of it. I don't know if this is possible, but visually, these two going at it was really a lot of fun. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, that's cool. I've never seen that. I can honestly say I've never seen that. And then there's a sequence in which she's fighting another woman in a kitchen. And it's really quite funny. A plate of dishes gets pushed over on the floor.
Okay.
And as that happens, the gun that one of the people is holding gets knocked out too. So the gun is hiding under the plates. So there's a mad scramble between the two women to pull the plates apart, and then they throw them at each other as they're trying to find this gun. And it was just as funny as it was exciting, which was great, because the Wick films get that way too. You're not supposed to take any of this seriously.
Okay.
I always think of them. I always think of Wick as Wile E. Coyote.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It's all a Roadrunner cartoon. How much can we beat the shit out of this guy and have him still come back? I would love it if they had an anvil from Acme fall out of the sky during part 4. I was like, that would have been fantastic. But yeah, I just treat these as cartoons.
Okay.
And while this one did right itself at the end, it pales in comparison to the Wick film. So not sure how well it's doing at the box office as far as if it's going to justify another one, but I do know they have another one planned. We'll see if they go ahead with it.
Okay, interesting. I think I jumped into the John Wick universe a little late, and when I jumped in, I didn't know I was supposed to take it lightly. It was disturbing and I couldn't take it.
Well, and I also look at these the way you should look at a musical as well. This is all about choreography. This is all about
Right.
movement
Right.
and editing. I mean, that's how I look at them. Just as I look at the Jackie Chan films the same way.
Okay.
Uh, through the lens that you would look at a musical and how movement is done and put together. I
Okay.
mean, that's what I get out of them and why I find them enjoyable.
Okay. All right. I'll take a musical over John Wick though, so there we go.
I know you will. I know you will. And I'm the exact opposite.
Yes. The other one that is in theaters is Elio. Should we chat about that one?
Yes, yes, that was a pleasant surprise.
Yes, I guess am at a point in my life where I tend not to go to the kid movies. I should go to them, but when I do, they tend to be so frenetic that I end up with like I feel like I'm going to have a migraine. It's just like over the top, high-pitched voices and like spastic types of movement, which I'm not really good with.
I agree.
But this is Disney Pixar, and they gave us Toy Story Inside Out, something that's, I think, a little bit better that can appeal to both kids and adults. So if it's Disney Pixar, I'm going to give it a try, and I'm glad that I did. This is about Elio. He's a little boy who, okay, this is going to be a shocker, Chuck. He has lost his parents. Both of his parents have died.
I'm
Why?
done.
Why? Why does Disney feel that that is the only trauma that they can inflict on a child in order to tell a story? Couldn't they have told this story without having the parents die?
No, I don't think so.
I think he could. I absolutely think they could. Anyway, so,
Yeah, but I think then that undercuts his motivation.
oh,
I
I
mean,
think
I think he wants to leave the planet because
he doesn't have his parents. Okay.
well, or I almost thought that he was looking for them.
Oh, I didn't get that at all.
Oh, I mean, like a heaven thing.
Oh, okay. All right, possibly. Anyway, so to get you caught up on this, Elio wants nothing more than to go to outer space. He believes that there are aliens out there, and he is begging for them to take him away because now he's living with his Aunt Olga. And his Aunt Olga is like smart as a whip, and she works. She's a in the military of some sort, and she's working to identify space debris. So she's like a space engineer, let's call her. And you would think that the two of them would really click, but they don't. Elio is always creating disasters and problems, and Aunt Olga is not coping well with this little intruder in her life. Elio is asking, like I said, to be taken away by the aliens because he just believes there must be aliens out there. And wouldn't you know it? One day he does get taken back to an alien planet with lots of different alien life forms, and he wants to stay there. But he has told a big whopper of a lie to these people or to these aliens, and that whopper of a lie is going to get him into even more trouble. So this was a fun story about a little boy who is coping with trauma and who is lonely. He is a total loner. He has no friends, and he makes this very unlikely friend, the son of this big wig planet leader that he probably shouldn't make friends with. And things, of course, go awry with that as well. He learns lots of lessons. He learns to appreciate who he is and where he is and what he actually has. And that's the nice message about this movie. Disney always has a nice message with these kind of movies, and it's a great message. I am going to tell you though, while I was watching this, I was a little taken aback, like, ooh, that's a scary creature. Ooh,
Uh-huh.
that's a
Uh-huh.
scary thing to happen to that kid. Oh my God. So I don't think little ones are going to like it. I think they might be a little creeped out by it and have horrible nightmares for the next month. So I'm going to say you should probably be over 5. What do you think, Chuck?
I think over 7.
7. Okay, I'll go with that. I'll go
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, there were a couple moments there where I even kind of got a little tense.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, when those robot monstery things start pounding on their chests and stomping, and uh,
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second here. I've stumbled into another movie here all of a sudden.
It was pretty
Um,
dark.
it was pretty intense there a couple of times. This movie grew on me.
Okay.
I was kind of not into it the first half hour. I thought the kid was irritating. There was a lot of, the usual thing, as you had said, the usual
Yes.
types of setup and things. But once he gets to outer space and he meets his buddy, uh, that to me is where things started to take off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, uh, Gordon, I think his name was,
Yeah.
this space alien, and they find out that they have an awful lot in common. And at that point, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And you're right. You said these movies are sentimental. They're supposed to be sentimental, but this one didn't, I think, lay it on too thickly.
Okay.
And that always is the thing that puts me off. You
Right.
know. But this one did. They walked that fine line. It was funny at times. It was smart. I loved what happens with Gordon's dad, what he
Yes.
does.
Yeah,
It's
me
like,
too.
oh, you got me, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
One of
and
the, go ahead.
and the dad was voiced by Brad Garrett, who did a great job.
Yes, he did. He did. I was kind of taken aback by something that one of our fellow critics, Linda Lerner, said to me after watching this, and I didn't notice it, but let me ask you if you agree with what Linda said. She said the animation wasn't as detailed and intricate as most Disney Pixar movies are. Um, it was vibrant, colorful, but it wasn't as detailed. What do you think of that comment?
I think she's right because this one was initially being produced to go straight to Disney Plus.
Oh, interesting.
They
Oh,
were just like Moana 2.
okay.
Those were both supposed to go straight to Disney Plus. So yeah, they weren't going to spend as much money on them.
Okay.
So yeah, I think she is on to something.
Yeah,
Uh,
I didn't notice that until she said it, and I'm like, oh, okay. It didn't bother me at all, but
no, not at all.
I thought that was a really interesting observation about it.
Yeah, she's got a sharp eye, that girl.
Yes, she does. What
Hey,
else do we have? Huh?
yeah, there's one I wanted to talk to you about that everyone's loving except me, and I feel bad because I think I ruined the movie for you, and that is The Life of Chuck.
Oh, you did ruin it for me. Okay, so I went to go see this and then I went out and had cocktails with a couple of friends of mine and I'm telling them about it and I'm like half in tears telling them about it because yeah, it was a little over the top as far as like here, this is what you need to feel at this moment and this is what you need to feel. And I know that drives both of us nuts when the music overload and the sentimentality. But I loved the storytelling technique of starting from the end and working their way back to the beginning. I loved the message that it had. It was very uplifting. And then you said, why? You just asked the simple question that I should have asked myself. And that question was a WH question, why? And I'm like, oh, God damn it, Chuck, you're right. Well,
Sorry.
you blew the whole movie for me because you were absolutely right. You were absolutely right. Do you want to talk a little bit more so people know what the hell we're talking about?
Well, it just for me it did lay it on too thick, and this is based on a Stephen King novella, and it's supposed to be a trick narrative, like you say. They start at the end and work their way back, but you can pretty much figure out what they're trying to do once we get into part two, chapter two. And it's all about this guy named Chuck, who is played by multiple actors, Tom Hiddleston foremost. And he's just a regular guy. He's an accountant. He loves to dance, but he doesn't really do that much. And something bad's about to happen to him. And we see his formative years. His parents were both killed. Wow,
Ah,
coincidence, Elio. And he is raised by his grandparents. Mark Hamill being grandpa. Great job by him. Really was impressed with him. And we see everything that composes Chuck and makes him a human being. And he is told multiple times, that he contains multitudes. I didn't realize the poetry and philosophy of Walt Whitman was so prevalent that multiple people would pull that line out of his work, Song of Life, and just mention to him that he does contain multitudes. I don't know. I just, and my objection to this. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but
Right.
I just have to ask anyone who's seen it, does it really all fit together? Does it really all fit together? And for me, it didn't.
Yeah.
However, you do know I'm not a big fan of musicals, but that dance sequence about 40 minutes in was incredible, was truly
I
magical.
loved that. I caught myself with a huge smile on my face as I was watching that. I loved that. I could watch that over and over again.
Really well done.
Yes.
Really, really well done. So, yeah, I guess I'm just the curmudgeon in the group because I know
No, no.
it's at like 80 some percent on Rotten Tomatoes, and there's one person that you and I both know that I'm not going to talk to this movie about. Uh, so I'm just going to keep it to myself,
That's probably a good idea.
probably. And then one that I talked to myself out of after you talked to me,
Right.
uh, materialists.
Yeah, the Materialists. It stars Dakota Johnson as Lucy, and she works for this high profile, high powered matchmaking thing. And if you're thinking Hitch, don't.
Yeah, it's a
She
little different.
It is a smidgy bit different. And she's like this, everything's about numbers and making things match. And she sets everybody up and they're all like, "Yay, Lucy, you made your ninth wedding happen because you introduced these two wonderful people." And that was all well and good. But then she sets this one woman up who she's just okay with everything. She's okay looking, she's okay with her education, she's okay. And they went through this very superficial checklist of who this woman is. Well, she ends up being set up on a date that goes tragically wrong, and this feels like it might be Lucy's fault. So she starts to question who she is. And while she is at the wedding that she was attending for the ninth person, she meets Harry, and that is the brother of the groom, and he is played by Pedro Pascal. Well, Harry seems to check all the boxes because he's got money and he's wealthy and he's rich. Those are three boxes. He's got all of that. But she's also kind of still in love with John, played by Chris Evans, who she runs into at that same said wedding as a waiter. And he's got no money. He is a struggling actor. She finds herself in a conundrum of, oh, which handsome, wonderful person should I be with? I thought it was all very trite and very superficial, thus the name Materialists, and I got terribly bored by it. I felt the acting was extremely cardboard. Uh,
Really? Huh.
yeah,
Okay.
I didn't buy the interaction with her with anybody. Um, I love Pedro Pascal. His role was fine, and Chris Evans tried to do as much as he could with his role. But Dakota Johnson, man, she fell flat for me.
Really? Okay.
It was just the whisper voice. And you know how I like doing Scarlett Johansson? I like doing
Yeah.
Dakota Johnson
Yeah.
too.
So now Dakota gets the whisper voice.
She's going to get it's a higher pitched whisper voice though.
Oh, okay.
And
That's not bad. You do kind of sound like her.
it's over articulated, and she talks in a little bit higher voice, and it's slower.
You know what, Pam Powell? I am so glad you did not let your disdain for this film creep through your vocal inflections as you were talking about it at all. Glad you were able to hold back there.
You are so welcome.
Well,
But
I liked this movie, or thought I did, until I started writing my review, and then I didn't like it so much.
yeah,
I liked it more than you did.
you did. You
Uh,
did. And I got to tell you, I think maybe some of this is my age. I went to go see it with our friend Kristen, who has gone through all the dating apps, who has gone through all the different scenarios of being set up. And she's never done this type of situation where you go to a matchmaker. but she could relate to a lot of the different situations and a lot of the conversations and comments. She was able to relate to a lot of it. She loved the movie. So I'm going to guess this is more of an age thing, and I couldn't connect to or relate with. Now, sometimes, you can't relate to somebody or relate with somebody, but you can connect to them. And both those elements were missing for me. She was able to. And
Well, if that's the case, then that's proof, more proof, or more reason that I'm glad I'm not dating now.
I know, right?
Awful.
Scary.
No romance at all.
No, no,
None.
it's scary out there, people.
Yeah. Yeah. So glad I'm missing all of that.
Yeah, you and me both.
So, all right. Well, definitely, I would say this episode a mixed bag as far as movies and what we liked and didn't like.
Yes.
Um, we're really getting into the summer stuff now, though. Next week, I mean, I know the summer season basically starts at Memorial Day, but for me, it starts next week with Brad Pitt and F1. That's going to be a big one. And that's going to be followed quickly by the latest Jurassic Park with who's in it there, Pam Powell?
Scarlett Johansson.
There you go. She's there too. Although it sounds though, yeah, that Scarlett has a cigarette rasp there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'll leave
Uh,
it at that.
yeah, please do. Jurassic Park's going to be followed by Superman, and then after that, more Pedro Pascal with Eddington and Fantastic Four. July is going to be huge, as is the last week of June. So buckle up, everybody. We will see them, and we will talk to you about them. But other than the last few summers, I haven't been excited about the last few summers. This summer, I'm excited. I think there's going to be some good stuff.
Good, good. I hope you are right. And I also want to alert people, check out our YouTube channel, Real Talk with Chuck and Pam. That's REEL, because we have interviews up for the new TV series out on Apple TV called Smoke. So check that out.
And we will talk about that next week because that starts on the 27th, as does F1. So we're always on top of things.
Well, you are. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Real Talk with Chuck and Pam.